Hello, a very warm welcome to you all and today's webinar on modernizing your workloads with Red Hat OpenShift on HPE Infrastructure. We appreciate you taking time off your busy schedules to join us for this knowledge sharing webinar. I am Kalpana Singhal, Editor-in-Chief CXO TV and your host for today's webinar. Allow me to take a bit of your time to introduce you to the webinar and set the context right. If necessity is the mother of invention, the current pandemic has forced many around the world to rethink their business processes. As many of the organizations are bracing for normalcy after the lockdown, one unexpected outcome of the current situation is that the companies realize the benefits of fast-tracking digital transformation. In fact, companies which are able to use technology well to keep going and rethink their business model for the future by fast-tracking digital transformation will be the ones ahead of their competition. During this pandemic, technologies and digital transformation have played a crucial role in keeping our business functional in a time of lockdowns and quarantines. However, digital transformation and technology implementation require agile application development and a robust platform. In fact, DevOps and agile application development are helping customers to deliver on the premise of digital transformation with accelerated application development and microservices architectures. On the other hand, applications are getting more complex. Demand to develop faster is ever increasing. This puts stress on infrastructure, IT teams, and processes. To be successful in the current circumstances and business climate, organizations must adapt quickly and developers need to be more effective, efficient, and agile. In this scenario, Red Hat OpenShift on HPE Infrastructure represents a platform which combines agile development methods, cloud technologies, and coordinated processes to help organizations become more productive and responsive across multiple environments. For more than 19 years, HPE and Red Hat have worked together to provide enterprise-ready alternatives to proprietary operating environments. Together, Red Hat and HPE aim to deliver a container-based solution that enables customers to not only build new cloud-native apps and microservices, but also to modernize legacy applications. With this, let me introduce today's eminent speakers, Satya Kantipudi, Country Channel Manager, HPE Pointnext Services, and Anant Dhar, Solutions Head, Red Hat India. With over 20 years of experience, Satya is an accomplished IT management professional, adept in leading change management initiatives, fostering improved productivity across multiple IT industries. He is a renowned project planner with expertise in planning, executing, and spearheading IT projects around hybrid cloud, green lake consumption, managed services, big data, IoT, and new technology trends. A computer engineer from Mumbai University, Anant leads the solutions architecture domain for Red Hat Asia Pacific. He has taken many IT management and solutions architectural roles at companies like Wipro, HCL, Netlink, Zykis, and more. Welcome, Satya. Welcome, Anant. So to start the webinar on a high note, let's watch a small video on HPE and Red Hat relationship.
Today, everyone talks about digital transformation. But what does it really mean? Digital transformation means creating a foundation for communication and collaboration among employees, partners, suppliers, and customers. It means migrating from proprietary platforms to open source systems. The ultimate goal? Higher levels of productivity. There are three key elements to this foundation. Open source software. Enterprises derive multiple benefits from it, ranging from lack of hardware lock-in to immediate cost savings. Industry-leading hardware. Only with the latest hardware can enterprises truly modernize their data centers and their cloud connectivity. Performance, scalability. This is the ability to accommodate new demands from the business with agility. And the payoff? On the business side, enterprises benefit from open source innovation, which enables agility. And that translates into a competitive advantage, because migrating to lower-cost platforms frees up money to address new business opportunities. On the IT side, applying a DevOps mentality, that is, closer collaboration between developers and operations, helps create an environment of continuous improvement. To help companies make the journey to digital transformation, Hewlett Packard Enterprise and Red Hat have created a partnership that brings together the best of both companies. HPE and Red Hat provide open solutions that help you cut costs, reduce complexity, and increase performance for physical, virtual, and cloud environments. Learn more today. redhat.com/partners/strategic-alliance/HPE.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking out your valuable time for attending this webinar today on understanding about modernizing workloads with Red Hat OpenShift and HPE. As introduced by Kalpana, I am Satya Kantipudi. I am with HPE for last 22 years, and I am responsible for channel business development and sales for India market. Trust you and your families are doing well and safe. We are all living in unprecedented times. This pandemic has created impact to individual lives, businesses, and economy at overall. As IT people, we are playing a critical role in supporting our businesses and customers with the digital platform so that business continue to run in difficult periods like this. Coming back to today's topic on containers and container platforms, IT industry has been innovating and transforming to ensure that we continuously optimize, reduce costs, and to be more agile and support business with speed. As strategic partners, HPE and Red Hat are promoting industry standard solutions to help customers reduce the costs, optimize infra, and modernize applications. I have few slides to share with you, and I'll take about 10 minutes for my presentation. So HPE and Red Hat, we are strategic partners for more than 19 years. And Red Hat and HPE work together to provide market-leading industry standard alternatives to proprietary IT. In India, I am with HPE for 22 years, and I've started this relationship with Red Hat in India from HPE perspective. I started about 2005, so about 15, 16 years. I am personally involved in with Red Hat relationship in India. Red Hat and HPE lead the way. We work on so many solutions, joint solutions to ensure that customers are able to cut the cost, reduce the complexity, and increase the performance for be it their physical servers, virtual environments, or the cloud environments. Our solutions include from cloud, hybrid cloud, private cloud to containers, automation. Today, anyway, we are spending more time on containers and automation. How is that? We are kind of helping customers together. Right. The next slide, I'm talking about our strategic partners in terms of the numbers. We are partners for 19 years. We talked about it. Together, Red Hat attached server revenue is about 1 billion plus. That is huge. We are number one OEM partner for HPE at the global level as well as in India. We have 4,000 plus Linux professionals at HPE. We are able to support 98% of the support calls resolved at HPE level itself before we escalate to, let's say, Red Hat engineering for level 3 support. 98% for L1, L2 resolved at the HPE services team itself. As we are the leaders for x86 servers, we are also number one for the subscription-based Linux across the world. So which means we are number one. More customers run RHL and HPE servers. So kind of we have the strong partnership. We are the leading OEM partners for Red Hat. Coming back to containers and Kubernetes, containers is going to be the new normal in the future, right? Going back to 1990s, where infra is in a client server architecture. We used to put workloads in the servers, then they're connected through networks, right? So all was working okay. But I think the challenge was that there is a lot of inefficiencies, maybe underutilized assets, underutilized resources. Then we moved to slowly into virtualization, right? About 2000s, we moved to virtualization platform. It was very good, right? We had good cost savings. We have improved the efficiencies. Then maybe the speed and agility, because the industry is looking for, keep looking for the innovation. We want to keep innovating, ensuring that we are providing the best performance to the business. We are ensuring that businesses are getting the speed. Part of that, I think then the cloud came into the picture, a lot of agility, speed with the cloud. right? Cloud offered the consumption-based services, pay-per-use models, all going good. But the cloud had one good thing, right? Cloud had these containers and microservices. But the cloud containers are not just limited to cloud native applications. Cloud containers are also applicable for legacy applications. We can actually modernize the legacy applications with containers. So that's what we are going to talk about today. In terms of these IDC numbers, this has IDC numbers as well as the Gartner numbers. If you see at the global level, we have close to 1.8 billion enterprise containers. That number is huge, right? By 2022, we are talking about 75% of the enterprises will be deploying the containers. That's a big number. And out of those, 54% will remain on-premise, which means we are talking about modernizing legacy application, not just the cloud native application. So the split between cloud native and non-cloud native is kind of equal, right? About 51% of the containers are deployed for the on-premise legacy applications, which are kind of, enterprises are using it for modernizing them. And about 49% of the containers are deployed in the cloud and cloud native applications. So from HPE perspective, we have experience and expertise to guide you on your journey with containers. We have done about 1,000+ cloud transformation projects, application modernization projects all over the world. We have about 10+ years of experience in container technologies. We are continuously investing in building our expertise. We have acquired companies like CTP, Red Pixie, Blue Data, Mapper, all these expertise, really helping us to ensure that we are supporting the customers with our expertise and experience. And we are also offering all these solutions as a service model. GreenLake offers on-premise as a service model. So we can actually offer container as a service instead of you putting upfront cash in buying the technology and container technology, container platforms. We can actually offer it as a consumption model, pay-per-use model, right? You can start small and you can keep building your projects and keep adding more and more workloads. There is one customer example, like we have a customer, Andhra Pradesh government e-Pragati project, where we have deployed HPE Synergy frames with in the GreenLake Flex Capacity model, where we have Synergy platform, we have Red Hat OpenShift and GreenLake Flex Capacity, where we are offering to the end customer as a service model. So it is like giving them kind of public cloud experience, but it is on-premise. It is there in their data center, but they are consuming it as a service. They will be paying monthly, so they are able to use it for not just for containers, the same platform. They are able to use it for the bare metal virtual machines as well as for the containers, because the Synergy offers the composability where they can deploy all the workloads, all the different type of workloads. With that, I appreciate your time. Let me hand over back to Kalpana.
Thanks, Satya, for your informative and in-depth presentation on how a combination of HPE and Red Hat solution work wonders for customers' digital transformation goals. Okay, now let's hear from Anant on how we can leverage Red Hat OpenShift for a multi-cloud strategy. Over to you, Anant.
Yeah, thanks, Kalpana. Good afternoon, everybody, and I hope everyone is safe and fine in this pandemic. So, guys, today we'll be talking about modernizing your workloads with OpenShift on HPE. As Satya already mentioned, that right now the business and the digital transformation, what we are talking about, all the businesses are actually going towards the digital transformation, right? And digital transformation is a journey that we are doing, and every organization is actually somewhere in that digital transformation journey, and how these containers actually help us to modernize our workloads. So as Satya was already telling, that we have our workloads, we have legacy applications. How will we modernize all those things? Right now, talking about just in continuation with what Satya told, that we already have 19 years of partnership between HPE and Red Hat, and we have done a lot of projects and a lot of customers together are there. So in 2018, HPE announced collaboration with Red Hat to optimize and accelerate containers in production, and they offered basically HPE platforms with Red Hat OpenShift from proof of concept to production for our customers. And in addition to that, you can see in the next slide, in addition to that, these are some of the, this is just a glimpse of some of the projects we have done together, and all these projects and platforms, these are on the new applications like AI. We talk about AI and ML architectures. So you can actually go back to the handouts and you can have details in those handouts. So this is just a glimpse what HPE and Red Hat with NVIDIA are doing all these projects together. So now talking about Red Hat OpenShift container platform, how these containers help in digital transformation. Right. So we know that digital business innovation is fueled by software applications. Right now, we are only talking about software applications. So this digital business experience, it's all about having access to applications anytime, anywhere. So I have some application, like let's take an example of banking application. I want that application to be running on my mobile phone. I want that application to be running on my laptop. I want that application to be running on my tab. So I should not be restricted that I can only use that application on my laptop. I should be able to use it anywhere and at any time. So there's a prediction from IDC that from 2018 to 2023, like we are already 2 years there, and 500 million new logical applications will be created. So that number is huge. In past 40 years, whatever applications were created up till now, so the same number of applications will be created in next 3 years. So all these applications have to run seamlessly anywhere and any place. Now, this is a data where we say that more applications will run on containers and hybrid cloud platforms, because when we're talking about such huge number of applications, we cannot rely on the physical things which we used to have like 15-20 years ago, that we have a monolith application that is on one server. Like right now, because of faster time to market, we are thinking about containers and hybrid cloud platforms. As you can see in this, today we are running these applications, whatever applications are there in blue. Tomorrow, within 12 to 24 months, we'll be running those applications on containers or hybrid cloud platforms. So this is the data from the market. Now, how to run these applications faster? It depends upon the ability of the customer to deliver and to deploy those applications, right? The applications can be any type of application. It can be cloud native, it can be AI or machine learning, it can be IoT, it can be analytics. So it has been proved that containers, Kubernetes, and hybrid cloud are the key ingredients. And OpenShift is one of the best platforms to deliver these container-based applications. Right now, we'll talk about OpenShift. What this Red Hat OpenShift is. Red Hat OpenShift is a container-based platform which is built on Kubernetes. It's distributed and runs containers at scale, right? So now, why OpenShift? As you see that OpenShift also is based on Kubernetes. So what is the difference between other products which are also using Kubernetes and OpenShift? Why customers are moving to OpenShift? So in the next slide, you can see we have more than 1,700 customers which are already on OpenShift. And this slide is a bit dated. So we have right now, we have more than 1,800 customers which are running on OpenShift. And the reason behind this, what should be the reason behind this? So why customers choose Red Hat? What is the reason? First thing is it's a trusted enterprise Kubernetes. We'll be talking about this. You get cloud-like experience everywhere, and it empowers developers to innovate. It's not only business, it's also the developers and the operations team which gets benefited from that, so that they can contribute to the business faster, as fast as possible. Now talking about, and with of course with open source innovation, talking about enterprise Kubernetes, it's a trusted enterprise Kubernetes. How there's a difference between the community version of Kubernetes and the Kubernetes which OpenShift uses. So it takes 1 to 2 months of efforts from Red Hat to change the community version of Kubernetes to the production ready or enterprise Kubernetes. So what we do basically, there are different performance fixes, there are validated integrations, what Red Hat does on top of it. Because once you put Kubernetes on inside OpenShift, you have to do a lot of integrations. There are thousands of applications which you can run on OpenShift, and we have to actually check whether all the applications are fine or not. We have to test all these things. So we have got more than 200 valid integrations and certified container ecosystem. So the plain vanilla Kubernetes and the Kubernetes which OpenShift uses has a lot of difference. So the Kubernetes we use in OpenShift is an enterprise grade, which is ready for enterprises with support from Red Hat. Now, talking about cloud-like experience, you have got all the things which you find in a cloud, like self-service, multi-language, automation, multi-tenancy, open source, and of course, enterprise grade with security. And you also know that Red Hat OpenShift has 10 levels of security. It has security at each and every level, because you know security is not a one-time thing, and it's not a single point of failure. Security breach can be at any place. So it has 10 level of securities. Now, talking about cloud-like experience and the consistency, OpenShift brings consistency. It delivers consistency across hybrid and multi-cloud. It can be installed on a bare metal, as we will talk about how HP and Red Hat collaborated to have it on bare metal on virtual machines. Also, it can be put on OpenStack, that's a private cloud, or any public cloud. Right. Now, talking about the consistency between the operations and the development teams. So this tool is basically a DevOps tool. You can consider it as a DevOps tool where it collaborates, it has a collaboration between development team and the operations team. It has interfaces for both developers and operations, where we reduce the friction between development team and the operations team. Now, for operations team, what does this platform do? It has got automated operations, multi-tenancy, security, network control, over-the-air updates, monitoring and chargeback, and pluggable architecture, right? So these all things actually are taken care by the operations team. Now, what is there for the development team? Development, it basically it enables developers productivity by giving them self-service provisioning, consistent environments, automation, CI/CD pipelines, configuration management, and logs and metrics. So where the developer can basically review the code, build it, test it, and deploy it. So OpenShift has all the tools. It has got tools to build the code, to test it, and to deploy in an automated way. So this way the developer productivity increases, and the developer is able to achieve his targets, like the business goals which are there. So to say how it enables all these things is because of the DevOps nature. We have got CI/CD pipelines. So this tool brings together the development and the operations team without any friction, and they do not have any dependency on each other, right? And developer can actually do a lot of things in very less time. There are some more tools like OpenShift Service Mesh, which is basically Istio and Kiali, which is used by developers to build their applications. We are talking about serverless architecture. So OpenShift also has the serverless architecture, which is built on Knative framework. This is a open source tool. And then we have got code ready workspaces. What these code ready workspaces are, actually basics of it are web-based IDs. You already know what IDs are. So we call it Eclipse G, which we have developed. So it's a web-based ID where developer does not have to install anything on any ID on his machine or his laptop. He can actually go to web, he will find the ID, and he can work from anywhere at any point of time. Now, this web-based ID is, we have created a project called Code Ready Workspaces, where a whole team or different teams can actually work on a single software, right? They can log in from anywhere. At this point of time in this situation, this is one of the best tools which our customers are using, where developers, they're sitting at home, they're just logging in from their laptops or their tabs to contribute to the development of their organization. Another tool is OpenShift Audio. We call it Odo. This is basically a CLI tool for developers, and then there are different plugins. So all these actually enable greater developer production. Now, as we are saying, as Satya already mentioned, this container platform, OpenShift container platform, it can deliver all your applications in a different way. Applications have not changed from past many years. So the basic rule of the business is we have application and the customer should be able to log into that application and we'll get business out of it. That rule is still the same what it was 30 or 40 years ago. Now what has changed? Only the way how we deliver the applications, how our client gets those applications has changed. So all the traditional apps which we have, you can put it on the OpenShift platform. You can have cloud native applications, and you can have these modern applications which are based on AI and ML functions, right? And you can install this on edge. You can install it in any server on in the data center, hybrid or multi-cloud. This is what OpenShift brings us. Now, talking about benefits of OpenShift, it has consistency across security, infrastructure, and management, with other benefits like reduced lock-in, business agility, scalability, and speed of delivery. Now, talking about the business benefits, this slide is actually all the data is gathered from IDC. This is IDC reporting that they talk to our customers, and our customers said that there's a 531% ROI in 5 years using Red Hat OpenShift. So this all data is from our customers. It's IDC report, not from HP, not from Red Hat. Now, using OpenShift, you can have 66% faster development life cycle, 36% more applications per year, and 8 months is the payback period. With 1.2 million, it's an average 1.2 million annual benefits per 100 developers. So this is the report which is already published, and everybody, it's accessible for everybody. Talking about the business benefits, it has got faster time to value. It has got it can reduce the operational overhead. So I'll actually explain this. Reduction of operational overhead is something like which Satya also mentioned. It's fully managed from infrastructure uh, from day 0 to day 2 operations. So here is where HPE and Red Hat has come together, where you get all the services from HPE on Red Hat OpenShift, which is installed on HPE servers, right? 24/7 SRE support with 99.9% SLA. No other company can give you that kind of SLA, which HPE and Red Hat together provides to our customers. And it powers developer community. Developers are also very happy to use it because they can be productive. They can be more productive within less amount of time. I had some of our customers where one of our customers, that's the Cathay Pacific, they told that earlier they used to have 10 deployments in 1 week, and after using the containers, they were like 100 deployments in 1 day. So that was what their CEO told. This is the agility by using OpenShift on HPE. And then, as Satya was mentioning, flexible consumption-based pricing, you don't have to invest a lot and then get the software and then you have to use it. There is a flexible pay-as-you-go model where you can actually, the OpenShift will be on the HPE servers and you can also use it. So whatever you have consumed, you'll pay for it. And Red Hat and HPE together will give you all the support needed for this. Right now, this is some of the joint engineering things which HPE and Red Hat has done together on HPE Synergy boxes with HPE Synergy, Synergy Composer, and Image Streamer with OpenShift and automated by Ansible Tower. It had storage also. This is another one which we have tested and it's running in many of our customers with HP ProLine DL380 and DL360 servers. This is a jointly engineered solution between Red Hat. So this is reference architecture for on HP Synergy. On top of which OpenShift was there with 3 PAR storage, and this is the reference architecture for the same Synergy with Nimble storage and OpenShift on top of it. So you can go back to the handouts and you can find details that how this architecture works, and all these details are out there. And I think this is end of my session, and if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A section.
Thanks, Anant, for your deep analysis and clear roadmap for customers' multi-cloud strategy. Going ahead, I would request Anant to run our first poll, which is all about what is your app development approach under your digital transformation goals. Quite interesting. 80% of people have said that both we are taking container-based approach for new app developments and taking container-based approach to modernize existing applications. And only 20% are saying that we are not taking container-based approach yet. All right, so that's the result of the poll, and we can run our second poll. The second poll is what percentage of your apps are running in containers? So we have got a response which says that 18% of people says we don't have any containerized apps yet, and only 0% says less than 20%, while 32% says 21 to 40%, and 36% says 41 to 60%, and only 14% says that it is 61 to 80%. So that's the result of the polling, that what percentage of your apps are running in containers. All right, so moving ahead, now it's time to proceed for our panel discussion. So digital transformation is more than just a buzzword and a process. It can open doors to limitless potential by expanding and improving capabilities and advancing all industries. However, during this turbulent time, digital transformation is nothing less than survival. Companies have been forced to quickly scale to meet the demands of our decentralized workforce. Brick and mortar businesses have shifted offline business online. However, the challenge is to speed up the tech adoption curve that typically has taken months or years. We have renowned guests as panelists to take this discussion ahead and find some robust solutions. We have with us Mr. Satya, Mr. Anant, as well as Mr. Jagdish Belwal, founder and CEO of Jagdish Belwal Advisory. Jagdish is a business leader turned CIO turned digital transformation advisor, disruptive growth coach, angel investor, and advisor CIO. He has driven major IT function transformation for organizations like Tata Motors and GE Digital. He is also a founder member of CIO Angel Network. So with that, let me ask first question to Satya. Okay, Satya, let's understand from our on how the customer expectations have changed during the pandemic and how does it affect the overall digital transformation roadmap of the organization.
During the current pandemic situation, cash preservation is high priority for the businesses, right? All the companies are exploring options and implementing actions to preserve the cash. And they want to spend cash only for high priority core business projects. When it comes to IT projects, high priority will be around maybe security, digital workplace solutions, and employee collaboration tools. So that's what I believe, that the cash goes for the high priority core projects now. And customers are also looking for consumption models. Instead of buying technologies with upfront cash, there will be more demand and acceptance for pay-per-use models, consumption models. That's what I see it as.
Jagdish, I would request you to give your perspective on this.
I think there's some common things, some different. And consumers are looking for, they are like very observant of your processes. So as slowly people start going out, they are looking at what kind of safety processes you are following, your people are following, and therefore you need to train your people well. As far as the B2B businesses are concerned, a lot of face-to-face touch is being replaced by virtual, by online. With any processes, whether it's ordering, payment, you talk of any process. Even I'm hearing that even sales is. Nobody ever thought that sales can work virtually, but even I think Satya, you will verify that even sales is happening virtually today. So focusing on the experience. Now any enterprise, I think the key element of success is the experience that you provide to the customer. We have all designed our processes, technologies, and everything for a physical experience with a little bit of virtual connect. But when this is flipping the other way around and you have more and more of virtual connect, then providing the tools and more importantly providing the training to people in the virtual space on how to come across effectively, and then in the physical space on how to be absolutely rigorous about the customer safety and health related SOPs. I think those are things how customer preferences are changing and how we need to adapt to that.
Right. So I'll bring in Satya again for the next question, which is how aggressive are the companies on the digital transformation front, and which segments are leading the way?
I think in my view, this pandemic situation has shown to us, all of us, that going digital is necessary for businesses to survive and thrive. Whoever is having digital products, whoever has implemented the digital transformation to some extent, they're able to kind of at least survive and continue the business processes. So in my view, going by seeing what's happening in the market now, in my view, I think all segments will be aggressive in adopting digital solutions going forward. I think it is not just for any particular segment. I think all sectors would adopt digital solutions going forward. Otherwise, it is very difficult to survive in situations like this.
Sure. And Satya, what are the most crucial investments to create the technology environment that will allow the organizations to thrive in the new normal?
So new normal is, let's say now, let's assume that new normal is work from home, right? For example, we so considering that everybody is working from home, or maybe very minimal staff is at office. So I think the investments customers would be making on the following solutions. One is connect and protect solutions for seamless, secure access for employees to connect from anywhere and any device. Right? That is very important now. So that we need to ensure that employees are able to connect and work seamlessly in a secure manner. Then the second one would be ensuring that we have the right collaboration tools. So like Skype for Business, Microsoft Teams, even HPE has HPE My Room, right? These kind of tools are very important so that employees are able to collaborate among the colleagues as well as with the customers. Third area would be there would be a lot of adoption of VDI solutions for all types of end user workloads. Starting from simple task user, backend, the guy who is using Excel and what kind of role to the guys who are doing engineering work. All we need to ensure that we are able to offer these kind of solutions for all type of workloads, end user workloads. The fourth one, in my view, is that you will have to adopt technologies like visual remote guidance for providing, let's say, maintenance support in remote factories. Let's say there is something broke down in a shop floor. How do we provide the remote support? So you have technologies like visual remote guidance, where you are able to help the guy on the shop floor for providing, remote support. So that becomes much easier for providing, maintenance support. The last one would be when it comes to IT operations, work from home, managing the IT operations, it's not easy. So people also would be looking at, kind of deploying some remote management solutions. They would also be looking for, having some staff augmentation from partners so that, customers have more skills. Let's say customers needs for 6 months some technical skills, people like, HP or HP partners can provide that. Are providing operations from remote NOC. Those kind of solutions also will become important now. But in the near future, let's assume that when the employee come back to work, then there may be a little bit more, little bit more investments would require. Once you are in office, you need to ensure that you have solutions like video analytics, for example, for social distancing, tracking and tracing. You need to have automated fever detection, touchless entry, collaboration tools, maybe using augmented reality, and you also need to have workplace alerts and information sharing. Let's say you are in a building, there is kind of government notification that you guys need to vacate, and you need to have a very effective workplace alerts and information sharing mechanism. So this is how I think in the current pandemic situation, these type of solutions would be more relevant for the customers.
Absolutely. Jagdish, will you like to throw some light on like what are the most crucial investments to create the technology environment that will allow the organizations to thrive in the new normal?
Yeah. So I'll just I think Satya has covered it pretty comprehensively. So I would just like to state the same thing in a few different words. So the first thing is that as the environment is becoming more unpredictable, and you are giving more and more options, whether you can work from home or from. So everywhere, the more predictable the environment, you have to provide the safety, security, and the SOPs and all of that, whatever we have, right? So that is more predictable. So when we go to office, the offices will have the security, firewall, privacy, and all those kinds of policies. Giving them at home is tougher. So there is the aftermath of work from home is that people have to invest aggressively in security. So I do see that security being a big investment. The other thing, as Satya was talking, see, everywhere we have to provide an optionality now. So all processes, which are physical, you have to create a digital option. Okay. So I do see, stuff like, for example, mobile apps or portals or e-commerce, internal e-commerce, etc., etc. A lot of self-service options, which we really never thought about, because they were like always benign and just lying out there. I see, investments going into creating the process optionality, whether it's like remote support or whether it is like giving an e-commerce option to your customers. I mean, I know, like for example, a heavy vehicle manufacturer, like they are working on, selling trucks, through e-commerce. So those are the kind of things that we are starting to see. I would also say that IT generally engages in the processes. So wherever you want a process transformation, you require IT. And what I see right now is that the edges of the company where it interacts with people, it interacts with customers, that is where most of these concerns around safety, health, traceability, and all of these are coming. And therefore, what Satya was talking about, those cameras and scanners for your temperature scanners, etc., etc. So the investments will go into the physical workplace where people are coming, and just to make this assurance and I would say tracking of people's health and safety.
Yeah. Thanks, Jagdish, for your perspective. And the next question goes to Anant. There is some issue with Anant's video. I think we can still hear him. Anant, the question is, how do container-based solutions address the digital transformation goals and customer requirements of agile app development and implementation in the current scenario?
Right. All right, Kalpana. So as Satya and Jagdish mentioned that in current situation or before that also, companies, organizations are moving towards digital transformation. So they have digital transformation goals. Now, what we have seen in the industry, the organizations are actually moving towards software containers as a way to package and distribute and obviously run their applications. Right? Why they are going towards it? Because this OpenShift container platform provides them tools it helps in the application deployment in an agile way. Right? It brings DevOps culture over there, right? And the benefits which they are getting out of this container technology are you can say speed, portability, availability, and simplicity. Now simplicity is the important part because nobody wants to have a complex solution and then work on that complex solution that will actually take a lot of time. So simplicity and portability are the two main important things that people are right now thinking of. Now these benefits of containers are like they're very real throughout the development process, the operation process, and the security teams. Now the ways how this container adoption can actually accelerate for companies digital transformation goals is there are different ways. It can enhance the integration of development and operations, as I was mentioning in my presentation, that it's basically a DevOps tool where we have CI/CD pipelines. So DevOps is basically a culture, which that culture comes into the teams, different teams which are working in collaboration with each other. Then another thing is simplicity. We have to foster simplicity and speed so that the business innovation is there. We have to actually go with the speed, and then we have to adopt the modern application architecture like microservices. So as Satya also mentioned, that the legacy applications can be modernized into the modern applications. That's what OpenShift is capable of. You can actually put your monolithic applications or the legacy applications, and then while running those applications, you can basically refactor them into microservices. So that is what this platform gives us. Also, the digital transformation, what we are talking about, it has many risks. Uh, so we can use OpenShift platform on HPE to reduce those risks. And there is a cost associated with it. With infrastructure optimization, which HPE and Red Hat is already providing the customers, with that infrastructure optimization, that costs will be reduced. So these are some of the things which are actually these organizations are actually thinking of. They should have all these things. And then once we have got all these things, then we can enhance the business flexibility by enabling the hybrid cloud. Like if tomorrow the customer wants his workload, some of his workloads to run on some cloud, so we can enable hybrid cloud. Or what we say right now is cloud agnostic. That means my application can run either on premise or on cloud, and he can just do a lift and shift of applications from on-prem to cloud or from cloud to on-prem. So these are the things what right now organizations are looking for.
Thank you, Anand. And
Over to you, Kalpana.
yeah, thanks, Anand. And it's we can have one more poll to engage with our audience before moving to the another question for our panel discussion. And I would request everybody to cast their votes for the question: how soon do you plan to start developing and implementing containerized apps in your business environment? I have the results in front of me. While 0% people are saying that we have implemented or are implementing containerized apps, 8% says within a month's time, and 62% says within 2 to 6 months time, and 31% people says that it will be more than 6 months. So that was quite an interesting result, that 62% people are saying that they are planning within the next 2 to 6 months. All right. So moving ahead, my next question to Anant is, if Anant, you can elaborate on the use case scenario of the Red Hat OpenShift on HPE. How does it take ahead of the customers' multi-cloud goals?
Right. So I will give some example. Before answering this question, I think it was the right time when this poll came. I could see 62% of people said that within 2 to 6 months they're going to embrace this container journey. Right. Yes. I would actually request them that this is the time you should come to HPE and Red Hat collaboratively. We will actually help you do it. And how the answer to this question will tell you how you can how you can get benefited with HPE and Red Hat. So together, HPE and Red Hat, we aim to deliver a container-based solution that enables the customers not only build new applications and microservices-based applications, but also you will have your legacy applications. So we can modernize your legacy applications. Right? It's not only that only for new applications or the cloud native applications which you are developing that will run on containers. No, your legacy applications also can run on containers, and then we can help in modernizing those applications. Now, jointly we have two solutions which I mentioned in my PPT also. So one solution is that has some of the HP ProLine servers, and then we have configured continuous integration and continuous delivery, which we call CI and CD, by Red Hat OpenShift platform, which is running on top of it. And you already know HP OneView. it has an open API architecture which allows easy integration and workflow management. So all these tools are integrated together with the help of Red Hat Ansible Tower automation. It's an automation tool by which all these tools are integrated in an automated way and to accelerate the deployments. So unless and until we have some automation tool with this integration, we cannot we cannot go faster. It cannot be a faster time to market. We cannot deploy our applications within hours, right? So in container technology on HP, we usually say that the deployment processes have been reduced from days or weeks to hours. So all the organizations can take advantage of the container solutions what HP and Red Hat is actually offering with very less risks. Now another solution which we talked about was on HP Synergy, where basically it's a complete out of the box solution that gets deployed in hours and brings immediate value to the business. So the people who do not want to purchase the hardware and then purchase the software, then install it, it takes weeks to do that. Purchasing hardware and all, you already know it might take months. And then in this kind of a situation, you cannot go to office, you cannot receive the you cannot rack and stack the hardware and all. So with this out of the box container solution that is from HP Synergy, uh, it brings immediate value to our business. So this provides the flexible architecture infrastructure you need to incorporate container services into DevOps, then host existing applications as well as new cloud native applications or microservices based applications, right? So HP Synergy basically enables customers to dynamically provision and scale applications, whether they run on a VM or they run on containers. This HP Synergy can provide virtual machines also or containers also, on can be hosted on premise or anywhere in the HP data center. So this is the thing right now which customers can directly talk to HP and Red Hat, and we can provide them, and they will get a remote access where they can directly deploy their applications. And as I already mentioned, this is an out of the box solution which takes a couple of hours to set up and running. So within 1 or 2 days, once the client confirms, he'll get the access and he will use it by deploying his applications. So this is what HP and Red Hat together aims to provide to the customers.
Right. Thank you, Anant. And I'll bring in Jagdish Belwal for the next question, which is, in a typical digital transformation journey, what are the in-house skills required? And what are the elements which can be outsourced? What is the roadmap you suggest?
Yeah. So, I'll go to the fundamentals of what can be outsourced. What happens when you outsource? You are writing down, a scope. Okay. Now, whatever is in your enterprise where you can write down a scope for it, you can write down certain SLAs, and so anything which is fixed, predictable, etc., etc. Those are things that you can typically outsource. Now, what happens is that a lot of what new things you're doing in digital transformation is around experimentation, is around the mentality of fail fast. Okay, throw something that doesn't work, build something that starts working, and therefore you don't want to waste your time and energy in writing down scopes and all kinds of scenario that can happen. So those are things where you need to insource. So like I can tell you my example, we never used to hire. We were a highly outsourced organization in my tenure at Tata Motors, and we tried this whole digital transformation with our outsourcing partners, and then we kind of figured out that, listen, we need to build some technical talent in house. Whatever is there, that has to run, on our legacy technology platforms, that can run, but we need to build a layer for driving transformation. So we started hiring technologists, fresh graduates, fresh MBAs, and then we started putting them on a lot of these experimentation tasks, learning cloud, learning mobility, and we were running we were able to run a lot of experiments, and half of them were failing, but that was okay. with a vendor, sometimes, they are very afraid of failure. Okay. So you have to really look at, I'll give another twist to it, it's like the run, grow, transform. Okay. So whatever is, whatever runs your infrastructure application just needs to be maintained is something which can be easily outsourced. Grow is something, where you are building on top of your existing, applications or infrastructure. That's also something which can be outsourced, but you have to program manage it. Transformation is something that you cannot outsource. Transformation is something that you have to own along with your business, and and that's where you need to really build your own skills. So if you really want to roadmap it, think about going forward what's going to, so today what's transform is going to become run tomorrow, and is going to become is going to become grow tomorrow, and is going to become run day after tomorrow. So you can plan it in this way that, like, as things become more and more mature, you can start putting them on outsourced maintenance and all.
Right. Thanks for the insights, Jagdish. Awesome. So that's an interesting and thought-provoking discussion on the roadmap for digital transformation in this uncertain time. We understand that a digital future lies ahead. By acting early and being bold and decisive, CXOs can accelerate their digital transformation and reach the next normal sooner. For many companies, the only option is to accelerate their digital transformation. That means moving from active experimentation to active scale-up, supported by ongoing tested and continuous improvement. These moves should happen across two dimensions: at the core of the company and through the development of new business. So before we start taking audience questions, let's have our last poll for the day. The last question for the audience is that how important is agile container-based application development in your digital transformation goals? 20% people says we are taking container-based approach for new application development, and 80% people says taking container-based approach to modernize existing app, and 0% we are not taking container-based approach yet. Wow, that's great. All right, so I think it's time for the audience question, though I believe we are already running short of time. While we have received quite a few questions from the audience, we can take only a few of them due to paucity of time. And for answering these questions, we also have Mr. Uma Shekhar Jian with us. Uma leads the third-party OEM software sales for HPE India. I think Anant can answer this question. Anant, implementing a containerized environment across existing infrastructure has been a complex undertaking that can require weeks or months to mobilize, particularly for enterprises. How do you help customers to reduce the complexity?
As I already mentioned, we both partners like HPE and Red Hat, we have a complete out-of-the-box container solution that will deploy in hours, like HPE Synergy, which we are talking about. Like, so HPE Synergy, it works in conjunction with Ansible Tower, that's an automation tool, and automatically it sets a process and quickly creates an operational infrastructure for the containerized applications. Yeah, from the moment the system is started or it's powered on, HPE Synergy's composable infrastructure gives you an agility and scaling, and you can provision your resources to support any application on top of it. So customers do not have to actually bring in the hardware and then the software and then install it. HPE Synergy is one of the best solutions in the industry, and it has been there for last 3 years. Which it's like plug and play architecture. Within 2 hours, within a couple of hours, it gets started, and the developers can actually put their applications on top of it. So this is how we can manage all these things together for our customers.
Okay. Uma, we have a question for you, which is, what are the in-house resources required and expenses incurred for a pilot on OpenShift on HPE?
See, with existing resources, we can try to do the POCs, and if we can try to test their applications with their existing infrastructures or the resources. See, any helps required in terms of their skill sets enablements, or in terms of the additional deployments support required from HPE or Red Hat, we can discuss it based on the scope of work and we can proceed further.
Thank you, for the reply. And Anant, there is another question for you. Like, in the current scenario, ROI from the IT investment has become more crucial than ever. How does your OpenShift solution helps organization maintain a fine balance between business expenses and IT investments? And what are the operational and financial benefits it offers?
The business value of OpenShift is actually, it's very important for our customers, because first thing the client asks for, what is the business outcome, what is the business value I will get, right? So as I have already shown you some of the slides on the business and the financial benefits what Red Hat and HP, Red Hat OpenShift and HP brings in, is like basically what OpenShift helps us, it helps us maintain a balance between between IT investments and optimization. So basically with OpenShift we'll be shifting IT investments to innovations with optimization, with infrastructure optimization. So this is the main thing where we can actually leverage the you already know that 70% of the IT budget goes into keeping the lights on, and only 30% of the budget is remaining. So if we shift that investment to innovation, this is how the OpenShift helps us. Now the business benefits we already talked about is, it's like 531% of a 5-year ROI. Then payback period is less than 8 months, and 1.29 million of average annual benefits per 100 developers. It's 1.2 million US dollars. It's the benefit per 100 developers. And of course we have flexible consumption based model, we have pay as you go pricing model, where customer doesn't have to invest a lot in the starting, but he can actually use it and then pay whatever he has used. So these are some of the financial benefits. And other business benefits are, which are actually given by IDC, are faster time to market. We have 10 levels of security, as I already mentioned, in OpenShift. Then 24/7 SRE support with 99.9% of SLAs. I already mentioned it in my presentation. So this kind of support and this kind of SLA, very few companies can provide you, and HP and Red Hat, they are providing to their customers, right, in collaboration with each other. So the customer doesn't have to individually go to HP or individually go to Red Hat. He can come to any of us and we will collaborate with each other and then give the customer the solutions, because we have long partnership. As everybody knows, we have 19 years of partnership and we have been providing solutions to our customers, right? And then we have reduced lock-in, so the vendor lock-in is not there. So all these things helps customers actually to come to this thing, because there are financial benefits, there are business benefits, and of course technical benefits, which I was mentioning in my slides. So these are some of the key key takers where customers come to OpenShift, right? Come to the containers container era or container journey they want to start. Over to you, Kalpana.
Right. Yeah, thank you, Anant. There I can see more questions coming in, but in the interest of time, I think we can just take one last question with Uma. Uma, what is the lifecycle support you offer, and what is the time to market?
Yeah, see, basically all the Red Hat products comes with a 10-year product cycle. So I think that seems to be a very huge period to streamline the deployment period, or the standardizing on the in terms of the custom versions or the updates and all. So apart from that one, we also have a extended supports also for additional 3-year support. So like basically we have a product life cycles for this one, and before we release the general release available, so we will be giving a clear roadmap of the products in terms of the how much how far you are going to support each version, and whenever the newer versions are expected and all. So these products, we are not specific about the version specific. We support any supported versions depending upon the customer environment, depending upon their hardware compatibilities. They will be able to choose and use the supported versions and all.
Fine. Thank you, Uma, for answering that last question. We are on the top of the hour, and I will request Satya to conclude the session with a quick recap of the discussion we had today while highlighting the takeaway for our participants.
You're a tech pioneer, harnessing data to discover new insights, bridging people, places, and devices to reach new experiences, navigating clouds to new frontiers of automation and IT consumption. But you don't go it alone. You build the right team, a team you strengthen with expertise and innovation from HPE Pointnext. Unlocking next-level retail experiences. More than 1,000 successful cloud implementations, AI and blockchain at scale. 25,000 experts helping you forge the right path forward. Modernizing how IT operates. Building agile processes at a rate of 11,000 transformations a year. Flexing how you consume IT with pay-as-you-go simplicity. So, fear no cloud, no edge, no late-night phone call, no data center disruption. Because with HPE Pointnext, you can keep pushing those boundaries, fearlessly.
Okay, thank you, Kalpana. Thank you, Anant. I think it was a wonderful session. And you have been a great audience. Really appreciate. Thank you all for your valuable time. We just concluded our Discover Virtual Experience event last week. Every year we should do that in Vegas, but this year due to the pandemic, we conducted it as a virtual event. There are about 150 demos and presentation sessions are available as recordings. These sessions are around container platforms too. So my request is that you please visit our hpe.com so that you can access all those digital Discover Virtual Experience recorded sessions, so that you will benefit out of it. There are so many useful sessions available. And coming back to the today's presentation, I really thank Anant. I think he did a wonderful presentation. You have been a great audience. Thank you, Jagdish. Thank you, Kalpana and Anand. Really appreciate. Dear customers, please reach out to HPE and Red Hat for any of your solution requirements around containers. As Anant mentioned, you don't need to pay anything upfront. You can pay per use with HPE GreenLake Cloud Services option. We will ensure that you are getting end-to-end support, so that for you just need to consume the containers. Everything else we will take care. And we will ensure that you get the best support from us. Thank you all. Take care and be safe.
Thank you, Satya. With this, I would like to end this session and take this opportunity to thank everyone, including the speakers and the audience, for joining us. Stay tuned to our social media channels and stay safe. Take care.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.